So if you're not aware, you may have heard about a game called Goals, which is a brand new football game which is currently being made right now, which you may have not heard of as much as another game which you definitely have heard of called UFL. So UFL and Goals, these are two separate football games that are right now being developed by two separate companies, and that they are trying to make the next brand new FIFA, essentially. The challenger to FIFA, the competitor, and debatably the better footballing game compared to FIFA. That is what these two are very clearly, in all their statements, in all their publications, they've always stated the fact that they want to make the fair to play, the ultimate football game. And in theory, really, it's between Goals and UFL, between these two, to compete with one another of who's the better footballing game. Now, we're going to look at Goals here because they've dropped this entire, I'm not going to lie here, kind of like a nonsense. I'm going to keep scrolling here and keep scrolling here. And keep scrolling here. There's there's limited, if any, images or video. It's just text. A lot of text. A lot of things are being said here, and most people will literally go to this page and be like, they'll scroll down a bit and be like, nah mate, I'm just gonna ignore that. They're just not gonna bother. I'm gonna try and do the best that I could possibly do to try to explain this game. And I've listened to Kurt's video. By the way, Kurt is a part of this team, a part of the project here with Goals here. So tell me your thoughts down below in the comments. Thank you all for 284,000 subscribers. And let's get stuck in it because this is big. This is the first real big piece of information that we've got about this game. Now, I'm going to say one thing here because most of you just won't even bother looking into this because it's so much. I'm just trying to make it as simple as possible and try to be as fair as I possibly can. So I've gone through Kurt's video himself of him explaining the game. So that's because Kurt's actually part of the game, so he can give me much more insight. However, because Kurt is of course part of the game itself, of course he's going to say things that's much more favourable to himself and his company. So I'm going to try to be the unbiased source, give you my honest opinions, positives, negatives, and just break this down here. So simply put, what do you need to know about this game? This is a football game with no actual football players that you know of. This is not a licensed game. The main piece of information is that, because you won't find that unless you scroll down, it kind of says it but not at the same time. It kind of says it but it doesn't say this isn't licensed. It is a game with no licensed players. Therefore, there's no Lionel Messi, there's no Ronaldo, there's P&L Pessi, right? It is going to be AI generated players that may resemble real life players. You may be able to rename the players to whoever you wanted to. However, they won't be officially Lionel Messi. It'll be Anthony Davidson. I don't know why I thought that name, but it'd be an AI generated player, something similar to what you would see in Top 11. You know that mobile game? You may have seen it on out and about for the last 10 years or so. I think I even did a sponsor for it a month ago, right? It is a game which you play online. It's like a mobile game essentially, and that you have these AI generated players with their own little ratings, and that you try to make a team with that. So that is a main piece of information from this, right? Number two, the second piece of information, is there microtransactions? No, there is not microtransactions. They've got another way of making money, and that is from the blockchain. I am not lying. They have got NFTs in this game. So NFTs in the form of players, NFTs in the form of kits, NFTs in the form of, I presume, many other ways. There's a blockchain. There's NFTs in this game. What proof right here? Every in-game asset will be backed by a one-to-one non-fungible token that can only have one official owner at a time and is secured by a decentralized network. Therefore, you will have to go on your PC or mobile onto the blockchain to go and buy players on this game if you feel the need to. And of course, you don't need to. You can have your own first owner team. And how this game works is that you get given a player which is based on DNA. So unique players that you get given from certain ages, certain stats, with certain potentials. And that's depending on what you do in training with the player, that they could get better or worse depending on how well you do with the player. There's player attributes, there's the DNA system with performance genes and visual genes, an aging system. There's a legend, so let's say you have a player in your club, which you have for a long period of time, they stay in your club, and then they get older, they retire, and then they'll be in your club as their best like peak value, and it will stay like that forever, right? That is like your legend of your club, and that will have that emotional bond. Now, of course, you can go and buy players on the blockchain. Again, sounds really mad. I mean, the thing is, for a football game, most people that plays a football game are younger people. Most people have no idea or really no interest of NFTs or anything to do with cryptocurrency or blockchain, right? And this is largely to do with the blockchain. If you're gonna go and buy anyone in this game, because you can, there is a marketplace to go and buy players. You can go on the blockchain and go and buy a player, and then they pop up on your console. I saw Kurt saying that. That is how it works. So in essence, you can have the best player in the game, 99 stats, whatever, everything, right? And you can go and sell them in the marketplace for real life money, for real life currency. So an actual currency, so for pounds, dollars, whatever else, they can sell them for £10, £100, and then how goals will make money off that transaction is simply based on a percentage cut. So just like EA has EA tax, when you go buy a player on FIFA, these guys will have a 5% or whatever cut it is of them when you buy a player on the goals marketplace on the blockchain. This is really, for me, like the two main number one problems, because I don't want to be too negative, and I will go into positives here, but if you have a football game without real life players, and also players that are completely AI, so like you just have like random AI players, so you got to try and form your own bonds with these players essentially, and then you can actually buy players off a blockchain NFT marketplace. Like in theory, it's cool. You can have like your own unique players that is one-to-one. It's only you that has this specific player. However, it's not like, at first I thought, all right, so maybe it's like you have like a Maxwell Cornet, like a Maxwell Cornet for me, but each Maxwell Cornet, there's like different stats. So like I may have 85 pace, you may have 83. Another person may have 86, but I thought it was that, but it's not. It's just completely AI players with just random names that have nothing in relation to real life players, that you can go and have just their AI generated player, which is unique to your club, which I guess makes sense. However, it is a massive culture shift. It's a huge culture shift, and I don't think that they can make that work in this kind of community. And if it is gonna work, it's going to be a niche community, I feel like. Like, with UFL, they've got some licenses, they've got real-life players, so people can easily make that jump from FIFA or PES, over to UFL, and realistically make that jump and make it work and give it a go. However, when it comes to this, when it's an AI team completely, and there's this massive, like, it's very detailed, unique players with DNA. I mean, what even is, like, visual genes and performance genes? There's genes on a player. Like, we can read a bit of it here, right? So just try and read this. Same logic applies in goals. A player's DNA will affect their stats, potential, looks, and more importantly, it cannot be replicated. Therefore, every player in goals is a one-of-a-kind and will be exclusive to the owner. The DNA that a specific player receives is completely randomized by the engine and consists of two different types of genes. Basically, it acts like a multiplier of how well you do with the card or the player. Therefore, the better that they'll get. The worse you do, the worse they'll get, essentially. Now, you may say, wait, so you can buy players, technically the best players in the game off a marketplace, therefore it makes it pay to win. In theory, it isn't, because they have apparently this button called the fair play switch that you can like flick the switch, and therefore you can only play players which is first owner, so therefore has not been bought on a marketplace. So therefore there's two different types of communities already split into two, which is one is first owner non-marketplace clubs, and then there's the clubs which has bought players. Thing is, I don't know which one will have the bigger market. Like, will anyone want to actually put their real life money in this game to go and buy players on goals? I just feel like that jump is going to be really hard to do. I really struggle to see that. You have this here with players, cosmetics, stadiums, highlights, celebrations, trophies. You can customize your own celebrations. You can make your own highlights, like a theater mode almost. Stadiums, you can customize your full stadiums. Trophies, I guess there's a trophy room and something to really like highlight whatever you've won. Cosmetics, I guess that's kits and shirts. The issue is that I find with all of this is the fact that I mean, again, like they go into Goals is a AAA free-to-play football game with Goals flawless and competitive gameplay will always be a number one priority. Through the play and own model, all users will be the rightful owners of their assets, which are earned for free through gameplay. We are creating a proper football game, but where there is a need, the gameplay experience will be prioritized over realism. We will never use any catch-up mechanics, handicaps, or similar features, but will instead focus on proper matchmaking to make games engaging. The best gamers should win due to their skills in gameplay and squad management, nothing else. Or you could buy the players on a blockchain NFT marketplace. The thing is right. Like, I don't like when these companies, the Goals or UFL, saying these big things like it will be fair to play, it will be, the best player should always win. Because I think that is absolute bollocks. Like, you can't guarantee that. You can't guarantee that the best player always wins, because that's not how games work. I can go and play Warzone right now against the best players, and I can win a game of Warzone because I get lucky. I get a jump on someone. I avoid players. I end up having a better position. I have a rocket launcher. Like, it shouldn't be. I don't like it when these companies are saying the best player should win due to their skills, because that's not how games work. So I just think it's really big, broad statements. Like, yes, it's everything that FIFA isn't. And I'm not like the FIFA guy that like people think that I hate the game. I don't get along with FIFA as much as I used to, but I still think all in all FIFA is still probably the better footballing online game. Of course, one big thing as well, not a single mention of any offline game modes here. Of course, when there's no teams, licensed players, there's nothing of that. There's going to be no offline mode as far as I'm aware. They do not say that at all. It says the mentality of Goals is multiplayer first, okay? Providing lag-free gameplay. There'll be servers in other countries, like I presume like Eastern Europe, Africa, Asia, regions where there won't be that many servers in for EA, for example. In terms of game modes that go into that, they range from casual to competitive and solo and co-op, but like they don't actually say what it is. So again, we're going to see that later on. Of course, the main issue is all this information, all this text, but yet no examples. That's just the thing which I do not understand why they've done this, because when you got something this highly, like, I want to say highly ambitious project, it's a cool idea. I like the fact that it's going somewhere different. It's not like UFL is kind of similar to like FIFA, just a different form of FIFA. Therefore, like, is it really that much different? We're going to find out based on the gameplay. This is a completely different beast. It's completely different and unique, and I respect them for doing that. I really do. It's just that, is it that one step far? Is it one step too far for the football community to really get behind? Like, it feels like it's a really like intense game, and there's gonna be an esports, so I presume there's gonna be like a cut of all purchasers on the marketplace, and the blockchain will be used for the events that they have, and they're gonna be aiming mainly for esports because they want to make the best football game, which again, there's no example, so we can't say if it will or will not be. I want to show you one thing which I saw, which makes me think, and this is it, right? Goals, shoe, default. Goals, shoe, gold. Goals, shoe, silver. And I don't know why, but I think that this is going to be some sort of weird, like, I don't know, like Apex Legends kind of guy. Like, look at these shoes. It's like futuristic, bro. Is this like Black Ops 3? Like the football version, like Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, like a 2045, like footballing world. Like, when you look at, if these are the boots in the game that you are playing with, and it's like LEDs on it, and it just looks proper futuristic. Is it like a punk type of like football game, like futuristic and that? I mean, if this is the kind of vibe they're going for here, and the kind of way they're going to be looking at doing the game with no licenses and nothing whatsoever, with blockchains and NFTs, I just think from an honest perspective, it could be a step too far. Of course, whenever they put this out, of course, I will give it a go. It's free to play. It's on PC, it's on Xbox and PS, so go and give it a go. It's a free-to-play game, so everyone should go and give it at least a chance. And I'm not going to say that you shouldn't. What does it say? So there's cross-play, which I think is on FIFA now. Play and earn, we value your time. It says esports ready, easy to learn, and a lifetime to play. Multiplayer first, fun and rewarding. I don't think there's really any offline. There's no like career mode as far as I'm aware. And that's it. That is all we have. We have a image of a tower and a flag, which is what UFL did as well. There's another flag. Yeah, I mean, this is just like a a cool little trailer piece, I guess. So all in all, in the simplest way, it is a game with AI football players with your own customized teams that you can play online, and that these players are strictly unique and one-to-one, so you only own one of this player. There's no duplicate ever. And that if you want to, you can sell the player on the blockchain for real life currency, and you can buy other players as well on the blockchain for real life currency to go and use in game. However, if you want to play against people who are on your level, you can by flicking a switch. But a game modes, we don't really know what they are yet. The gameplay, we don't know what it is yet. So yeah, I feel like if there was some images or some menu footage, I think it'd be easier to kind of understand and process everything. But hey, if there's one thing I can say about this, is the fact that it's at least unique. It's at least they're going for something very out there and very different. So tell me your thoughts down below in the comments here. This is going to be an interesting video to look at here, because I mean, we're looking at two different games, UFL and goals, both trying to compete with FIFA. And looking at UFL and goals, this one looks like it's very out there and maybe reaching more to a niche marketplace. But that may just be me. So tell me your thoughts down below. I will see you guys next time, and stay safe.